I recently bought Sentry from the collector token shop, and I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people made fun of me. A lot of people don't like this card, but I am finding some really good success with it and some actually hilarious combos. So Sentry is a really weird pull 4 card. 4 cost, 8 power. You can't play this at the right location. So you only can play it in the middle or the left, and on reveal, you add a negative 8 power void to the right location. Awesome looking artwork here. Again, this massive -8 on your side of the board is brutal, but hilarious in a lot of ways. So how can you utilize that? Well, I actually utilized it in a destroy deck. So I'm running a pretty generic destroy deck to start. I'm running the Hood, and I'm using Deadpool and Nova as my 1-drops. Then I'm using Bucky Barnes and Carnage, and I'm using Viper. Viper here is the biggest way to utilize Sentry's the Void. She is a 2/3. On reveal, your opponent gains control of one of your other cards at this location. So, famously known, you play the Hood on turn 1, he's a -2, you get this awesome demon in your hand that's 6 power, and then you play Viper, you send your opponent the -2 Hood, and you have a giant demon that's for 6 power and for 1 mana in your hand. Really solid. But if you can hold off and play Viper on turn 5 after having played the Sentry, you can actually essentially send a Hobgoblin to your opponent's board. You can send them a -8, which is a huge swing at this location. There are obviously ways that this can get countered, like Cosmo can stop the reveal effect, or they can fill up that side of the board, etc. But a lot of times your opponent won't see it coming, and it's massive. Another just general premise is, since we are using things like Bucky Barnes, Carnage, and Deathlock, like that generic destroy package, you could also just simply destroy the Void. It comes out, you can eat it with Carnage for +2 power, you could just destroy it with Deathlock to save that location, etc. The other third way is to just fill the right side location with cards yourself, so when you play the Sentry, you can't actually summon the Void. This deck doesn't do that super well. So we want to mainly toss it to them with Viper, or destroy it with Carnage or Deathlock, or we could possibly fill that location, but more likely, we just give up that right location. So if we don't see Viper, if we don't see our destroyed cards, and we just have Sentry, okay, we just give that right location, and we really try to win the middle and left. So that can be another goal there. I'm also using Mysterio in this deck. You got to be a little bit careful with Mysterio, because if you do have the Sentry combo and you want to hit the Viper combo with that, Mysterio plays himself as 4 power, and then 2 clones, which are 0 power, at the other locations. So this can actually fill the locations up. So if you want to run like Wolverine or something else in this slot, feel free to. But a lot of times I find him really useful on the games that I don't hit the Sentry combo. He's just a really solid card for this type of destroy deck. I'm using Killmonger, obviously, for some Deadpool shenanigans. I'm using Arrow because she is the best card in the game. And then I'm using Death because I kill a lot of things here and normally can reduce her cost. So you could easily throw Wave in a deck like this to play it like a Death Wave deck. And there's a lot of other destroyed cards that you could be putting in here if you like. But we are trying to do a little bit more of a surprising type play on a destroyed deck. So I am trying to use Viper and Arrow and Sentry as the 3 kind of shocking cards in this deck that have a lot of surprise value. So if you guys have Sentry, begging you try out a deck like this. He's actually so much fun and gets a lot of hate, and I don't think it's warranted. So let's jump into some gameplay with this, and hopefully we can show off giving our opponent a 4-cost Hobgoblin. Let's get it. Alright, so we got Nova, Carnage, and Deathlock. Pretty interesting hand to start. I'll play Nova on the Raft, but he's got Misty Knight, so Killmonger could be a really... As soon as you see Misty Knight, they're probably playing a Patriot deck. It probably means they're playing Ultron, which means Killmonger goes up in value by a lot. So playing Deadpool in the middle here is actually really nice because it will set his value up a little bit more. He'll be a 2 base power to start, so I can start doubling him nicer. So I'm actually going to do that here. Looks like he has a similar idea. We got Squirrel Girl, so we're probably going to go Killmonger here after this. And we're going to wipe the board. We could save it for something bigger, but I think it's really important to get him out now. So I'm going to kill everything, even though the bar with no names there for right now, that's fine. We can play like Hood there and lose the power, that's not a big deal. We're going to kill all these cards here, everything on the board except Patriot, and Deadpool's already going to be a 6 power, which is huge. So we like that. And we have plenty of things we can do here, so we can do Deadpool, Bucky Barnes, etc. We could just do Deadpool, Deathlock somewhere. We have a lot of options. So if I think I'll just do Deadpool into Carnage here in the middle, and that will make Deadpool be a 12 power, which is great. So if Deadpool ends up just going off, it's totally a viable strategy for this deck too. We'll just enjoy the ride and let Deadpool get massive. So he's got double the Patriot. So if he has Ultron, he can do some fancy things, but he'll end up losing this. Whoever has least power, I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen a better reason to play the Sentry than that. So let's go with the Sentry. Let's drop the Sentry out here. Alright, he's getting a free 6 cost card. See what that does. We get -8, which is a good way to lose or to win Bar with No Name in a very funny fashion. We're winning the left. I mean, we feel really good about all this right now. Feeling solid. So we'll go with, so we can do Bucky Barnes Deathlock here. That'll put us at 6 power plus 2, which is not a whole lot more than we have there currently. Well, obviously we have the Viper play, but when it's Bar with No Name, we're fine with not playing Viper and just letting Sentry use the Void and just win that location for us, which is hilarious. So I think I'm just going to go with Mysterio here in the middle, or on the left, and then Bucky in the middle just for that +1 extra power. It's not going to be really that important, but I'm going to win the right side, and I should win this left side. I don't think he's going to get much more power there. See what he does, unless he has like somebody like Scarlet Witch or something in this deck. I think he's going to lose unless he has something like that, or Rhino. He's got to turn off Bar with No Name. Played Leader and Ultron, which he has a lot more power at Bar with No Name, and yeah, we'll end up winning Bar with No Name with the Void. So whoever says Sentry's bad clearly has never played with Bar with No Name. Odd game. We obviously had the combo thrown him over with Viper, but when you get Bar with No Name, you don't have to. So we'll take it. All right, so we got the Hood, Bucky Barnes, and Deathlock. So I mean, that's a very solid curve right there. We'll just play that out and save the demon for later. We got some interesting locations, so it's going to turn into a different location, and this is going to swap the position of all of our locations. So some weird things are definitely about to go down. But we're going to just stick to our game plan here and play a bunch of destruction cards to start. So we got the Hood, Bucky, and then Deathlock. It'll be a good bit of power on the left location, backing it up with even more power after the fact. So that feels pretty great. Got Killmonger, which currently won't kill anything, but we kind of want to play that after we play Nova, which we might end up doing. So yeah, we'll end up doing that now. So we're going to play Nova into Killmonger, which will give us a good bit of power across the board and reduce the cost of death by another 1, making her be affordable for 6. And then we got Arrow and Death if we want to play both of those. So alright, so Nova gets hit, we get a bunch of extra power. Let's see what my opponent's doing. He's hiding some stuff under Invisible Woman, I'm not sure exactly what. Deck looks pretty generic so far, Iceman, Scorpion, but I'm not sure the exact strategy of where it's going. So it's something I gotta be wary of. I don't know exactly what his plan is here, or what is underneath Invisible Woman. Starlight Citadel is just going absolutely nuts, switching locations all over the place. No idea what's happening. So Carnage will just get played as a flat 2 power here, which isn't ideal, and we'll play the Demon in the middle. Let's see what my opponent ends up doing here. He's playing another card under Invisible Woman, so I'm not sure what could be underneath there, but it could be some scary things. We're just going to end up playing Arrow on the right. So I could play Death, but Arrow sometimes is just a better card to play on the last turn. I'm assuming he's going to try to play something on the left side and another thing in the middle. I'm just going to pull whatever he's playing to this right side on the last turn, and it'll just kind of screw up his game plan. Death is a flat 11 power, which is great, but I want to screw up what he's trying to do here. So I'm moving his card to the right. It's Onslaught, which is great. So I stopped him from winning the left side. We got Ebony Maw and Iron Man, so he'll win the middle, but Arrow is just such a good card right now and just ends up winning the game for me, so that's pretty great. Doesn't show off the premise of the deck, but shows off a little bit of flexibility. Let's try to get one more with Sentry. Alright, so we got Nova, Deadpool, Mysterio, and Carnage. Not a terrible starting hand. We're going to play Nova before we play Deadpool, so Deadpool will get the buff from that. Alright, let's see. So we're going to go Deadpool here, and then most likely we'll go Deathlock. Could just go Carnage, though. We'll have to see. See if we draw anything else we feel like destroying. Oh, so we got Killmonger out here, which is pretty great. That's pretty great. Let's see. I think we'll just go Deathlock for this turn. Next turn we can play Deadpool and kill him again with one of our other cards. And we will just try to continuously kill Deadpool here a bunch of times. So there's already going to be a 4 power in our hand, which is great. We can kill him again next turn with Carnage and Killmonger. or Carnage or Killmonger. Looks like our opponent's going with a Patriot style deck. Got Khazar as well though, so Patriot Ultron on that side of the board. So we're gonna save Killmonger for a little bit later in the day. Don't want to show that card. I think last when you see an Ultron or like Khazar type deck, you want to save Killmonger for the end so you can just kind of blow up his entire board on the last turn. Could be a very shocking play. He's got Mystique, he's got Patriot, so he's feeling good. I mean, he's playing big numbers right now. We want him to reveal first on that last turn, so then Killmonger can come out and then destroy his entire board. So that's something we're going to have to play a little bit strategically here. So we got Bucky Barnes, who won't do anything for us, unfortunately. And we still don't want to play Killmonger here. But we want to be losing before we play here. He's going to play Ultron at this location on the last turn. So we know that's coming. So how can we get around that to a degree? And what are we going to be able to kill here? So I want to play Mysterio. And I don't actually want to play Deadpool this turn because I'm going to destroy him first. So I actually just want to play Mysterio here. And I think that's it, and save the rest of the location. So this doesn't look like a whole lot of power. He's playing Blue Marvel, so we want him to be winning these locations. All right, perfect. So he is currently winning the locations, and we're going to blow up his board on this turn, and then play a ton of stuff. So we're feeling really good about a quick surprise play. I'm fully guessing that we're getting Ultron on the this location here, or maybe even that location, doesn't matter. And then he'll get 4 Ultron bots there. But we're gonna kill Misty Knight. And we're going to kill whatever he summons this turn if they're 1 cost. And we're going to play a crap ton of power. So we want to play Killmonger before we play Deadpool and the Demon. So we're going to play Killmonger here, and then we're going to go with Death here, and then we're going to go Deadpool and Demon there. It's going to put a good bit of power at both locations. So we see, oh, Doctor Doom is a good switch up instead. So he's playing Doctor Doom. We won't get nearly as much value from Killmonger, but we'll still get a good bit. We're still going to chunk that away. And then get Death, put us up to 21 power, throw out the Demon, throw out Deadpool, Mysterio gets revealed for +4 additional, and we still sneak out the win, which feels great. So, you know, we played a deck, we're expecting Ultron, but Doctor Doom is another totally viable option on turn 6, but still Killmonger turning 8 power off in the middle was great, and we got a ton of value out at the end of the game. Super solid. So guys, this is a destroy deck at heart. It sometimes will play like a destroy deck. Just has a couple more fancy options for you to try as well. Let's get a Sentry Viper game going though. Alright, so cards are going to cost 1 less, and we got Deathlock, Killmonger, Bucky Barnes, and Arrow. Very interesting layout here. We got some really good power, so we're liking that. And we got Deadpool into Deathlock here. Feels pretty great on top of Elysium. Getting a lot of value here on turn 2. Still going to keep searching for our Sentry Viper combo, if we can find it, which we'll see if we can. Alright, so Deadpool and Deathlock drop. We're going to have a whole lot of power on top of Elysium, and we'll have a 2-power Deadpool in our hand, which is great. Let's see what our opponent does. He's got Nakia, doing some hand buffing on his side of the board. Nidavellir, so cards are going to have +5 power over there. That's pretty interesting. We're going to go with Nova Deadpool, and then we're going to play Killmonger, which will boost a ton of power up across board and make Deadpool, I believe, go to a 6 power in my hand, which will be great. So 0 costs 6 power, always feels pretty nice. He's got Jubilee, so he's going kind of all in on Nidavellir, which I'm okay with right now. Yeah, he's definitely going to win that location as of now. I mean, I could contest it, but I will currently let it go. And I'm just going to drop Arrow here in the middle and pull whatever he wants to play over there to the middle. Wolfsbane, so she's a 12 power, but that's going to be -5 once she gets to the middle, and then -1 additional one from that. We have Death now out for really good value. I'm just going to go Viper, Deadpool, or actually I'll just go Viper, Death here. Get a bunch of power on this right location, and I can play Deadpool for 6 at the last turn for free. Oh, we're going with an extra turn here. Got Limboed. So we're going to grab an extra turn. We got Viper, we got Death. Pretty interesting. Lots of power over there on the right location. We want to play 2 cards. So this is actually pretty great. Mysterio is going to come out and give us plenty of power at all these locations. I'm going to save. So he's going to be skipping this turn, and then he's going to be playing Infinite and She-Hulk next turn. That is for sure his strategy. So I'm going to go with just Mysterio for now and save Deadpool and see where I want to go. with it, depending on what I draw next turn. Also, if I draw a destroy card, it's going to be a little awkward. If I draw Carnage, he's not going to go anywhere. But let's see. Oh, he's going Devil Dinosaur. That's interesting. Devil Dinosaur and Psylocke. Doesn't really have a whole big hand for Devil Dinosaur. Really was not expecting that at all. Mysterio, even though he's blank, he's still going to give +5 power over there, which is great. Now we have the Sentry, so I'll show you. Sentry is actually really a fun card, because if you just fill up the right location, you don't have to worry about the -8 power. Super great combo to hopefully end this video on. Let's see what he's got. He's got Iron Man, so he's going to double the power at the middle, which will definitely let him win that, but not anything else. We're going to keep the other locations 1. Mysterio coming in super clutch, giving us a lot of power, a lot of different locations, and Sentry giving us a nice flat 8, and putting a lot of pressure on this location. I mean, you know, he played Iron Man, he still only won this middle by 5, so that's the deck, guys. Didn't hit the Viper Sentry combo. You don't always have to. You can win games with this deck in a lot of different ways, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have Sentry, you gotta try this deck out. Please do. Let me know what you think. Let me know what changes you're gonna make with it. Leave a like, leave a comment, and if you feel like you're being generous, leave a subscription to the channel. It helps us grow way more than you know, so if you can do that for us, that'd be super appreciated. And as always, keep on snapping.